What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the WMMA Today podcast. Typically with Drake Riggs and me, Steve, but my ginger bastard, Drake Riggs, will not be here this week, so I am solo. We have quite a bit to talk about. A UFC 254 recap. Some news, bunch of news as usual. There's news, and then Bellator 250 preview, UFC Vegas 12 preview. There's a one Inside the Matrix preview. So let's get on with the UFC 254 recap, where we will start with the train going by, of course. What's the show by myself without the fucking train going by to help me out? So Lauren Murphy defeated Lilia Shakarova by rear naked choke in the second round. It was a pretty dominant fight for Lauren Murphy. She looked great. She looked amazing. I mean, she is she's ranked number 5 in the women's flyweight division for a reason. She's a beast. I mean, so Shakarova, sure, she took the fight on short notice. Props to her, but I mean, she was out of her league. I mean, plain and simple. Lauren Murphy is a title contender. She's on a 4-fight win streak in the UFC. I think she's like 6-4 overall in the UFC, but she's on a 4-fight win streak, and that means something. I see a lot of people hating on her, and she was actually really open about what she wanted, as far as a title shot. She thought that she thinks she's in line for a title shot, and granted, she has a better record in the UFC than Jennifer Maia, who will be challenging champion Valentina Shevchenko for the title. She does have a better UFC record. Jennifer Maia was the Invicta champion. She has a pedigree. She's been around for a long time. Drake and I talk about Jennifer Maia. We've talked about her for a long time, stemming back from the first run that we had with the WMMA Today show. We both are high on Jennifer Maia. We like her a lot. Lauren Murphy has really shown that she's legit, though, right? Like, she's fun. She's entertaining. I like her. But who does she fight next? I don't know. Cynthia Calvillo's ranked number 4. She's above her. Jennifer Maia is ranked number 3. She's obviously getting the title shot against Valentina Shevchenko. Chikazian. And then there's Jessica Andrade at number 1. What do we think about that fight? I'm going to ask you guys what we think about Jessica Andrade versus Lauren Murphy to be the next opponent for whomever wins, Valentina Shevchenko, Jennifer Maia. What do you guys think about that? I don't think that it's a terrible fight. I think it would be entertaining, but Jessica Andrade is a tank. She's going to be hard for anybody, including the champion, Valentina Shevchenko, who has looked phenomenal, obviously. I mean, she's looked great, right? I mean, she's clearly one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the UFC right now. Jessica Andrade is a beast, though. She's an animal, man. just an absolute tank. Lauren Murphy would have her hands full with Jessica Andrade. Is she ready for that? Damn, I don't know, man. I don't know if Lauren Murphy's ready for Jessica Andrade, but who is? Who is? So welcome, Dave. You say I like that. Actually, I'm assuming you like Lauren Murphy versus Jessica Andrade. Yeah, it makes sense as far as like who's next, who could be next. I like the fight. Yeah, I like it. Welcome, Stamina. London Calling, my boy. Okay, so Yusuf's first question of the night. Welcome, Yusuf. I lost it. As things stand, you reckon Andrade will get a title shot? Murphy looked very vocal on Saturday. Right. That's exactly it. Well, she was vocal. I mean, and she has the right. I mean, she has the right to be vocal. She's really just pissed at everybody right now. Which is fine. That's a great attitude to have if you're a fighter. I don't disagree with anything really that she was saying. I like the fight with Jessica Andrade, to be honest. But yes, I do think that Jessica Andrade deserves the title shot. But again, will she want to wait? Will the UFC want to wait for Andrade to get a title shot, which will be later on down the line, depending. Who knows what can happen with Jennifer Maia and Valentina Shevchenko? We don't know. I mean, one of them can get injured, and shit happens in MMA, obviously. So Stamina said Andrade or Calvillo are the only people Murphy should fight next, if not for the title. Murphy is the only person Andrade should fight, if not for the title. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. I mean, I said it already. Yeah, I agree with this 100%. Harrison D, welcome. Harrison said, I think that's where the Murphy hype train stops. With Jessica Andrade, yeah, that's where a lot of hype trains stop with Jessica Andrade. I mean, she's an animal. She's an animal. Okay, so moving on to the Miranda Maverick and Liana Jojua fight. That was a massacre. Miranda Maverick is just a beast. We talk about animal with Jessica Andrade. Miranda Maverick is an animal too. She's amazing. She's just a badass. So Jojua had that nasty cut. She wanted to fight. The girl wanted to go out. She was so upset when the doctor called off that fight and after the first round. She was so upset. She was like in tears, and like it sucks for her, right? That's terrible. I mean, you're in the UFC and you do well. Her last fight she won by an armbar, and then all of a sudden you come against this tank in Miranda Maverick, and she's just crazy. She's an animal. It's ridiculous. She has the pedigree to be a champion. I mean, she has things to work on, obviously. I mean, but every fighter does. But Miranda Maverick has that like intensity, that fierceness, ferocious, just an beast, willing to put it all out there and just fuck up her opponent. And that's why I like her a lot. She's exciting. Um, I dig Miranda Maverick. Man, she's gonna be a tough one in the flyweight division, no doubt. She's gonna be tough, man. She is gonna be tough to beat. Okay, so Harrison said she's only 23 too. She's gonna go far. Yeah, Yeah, 23 years old, already in the UFC. Man, crazy, crazy good prospect. Crazy good prospect. I love it. Pumped to see where she goes. She has that championship pedigree. We'll see if she gets that far though. I mean, the flyweight division it's stacked. Flyweight is pretty damn good coming up right now. Um, she's fun. She's fun to watch though. Uh, do we see her? Do we see Miranda Maverick fighting somebody inside the top 15? Probably not. Probably not quite yet. Maybe one more fight, and then she can fight somebody like Antonina Shevchenko or Montana De La Rosa. Those are all fun. Those are all fun fights for her. But I don't think she's quite ready. Maybe she's ready, but I don't think they want to throw her in there yet with a top 15. I mean, she like Harrison said, she's only 25 years or 23 years old. That's super young. This was her first fight in the UFC. It's just crazy. Okay, so on to the news. All right. So, Bella Muir, the daughter of MMA legend and former UFC heavyweight champion Frank Mir, defeated Danielle Wynn via unanimous decision at Icon 2. Yeah, she's only 17 years old. Another young one. Um, didn't have any didn't have any amateur fights. Didn't have any professional fights. This was her professional debut. Pretty crazy that she just got thrown in there without any amateur fights, but she looked good. There were times where she had to scramble out of Danielle Wynn on top of her. She fought like a 17-year-old, a good 17-year-old. Uh, she pulled off the win against Danielle Wynn, who probably should have beat Bella Muir, but she didn't. Um, Danielle Wynn has like 8 professional fights, whereas Bella Muir didn't have any up to this point. Bella Muir looked really good. I mean, um, she showed that jujitsu pedigree of her father. Um, oh, yeah, she's fun, I guess. 17 years old. Again, 17 years old. Well, what more could we ask for from her? To be honest, can't really ask for more from the 17-year-old Bella Muir. Um. Okay, so moving on to flyweight Bellator flyweight news from Bellator 254. This just dropped today at some point. Flyweight champion Elimele McFarlane will be taking on Juliana Velasquez. It is officially the headliner for Bellator 254 on December 10th out in Connecticut at Mohegan Sun. So this is big news. We talk about the Bellator flyweight division on a weekly basis at this point on the show. We talk about Juliana Velasquez being next. I'm sure that Drake is happy to hear that Juliana Velasquez is getting her shot. I know I am. She deserves it. She is very deserving of this fight. For some reason, your guys' comments are not showing. So I'm clicking on new comments, and it's not dropping down for me. It's not scrolling down. Weird. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, Alimale McFarlane. This is a tough one for her. Juliana Velasquez is very much ready for a title shot. She has been for a while now. This might be the toughest fight that Alimale McFarlane will have in the Bellator flyweight division. Yeah, early lean is to the champion Alimale McFarlane. If you know me, I'm high on her. I mean, she's got that native roots. I've got those native roots. We kind of stick together. Probably won't pick against Alimale McFarlane, but Juliana Velasquez is a very good opponent for her. I would not be surprised if Velasquez actually won this fight. But for right now, I will not be picking against Alimale McFarlane. I can't do it. I won't do it. Yeah, I won't do it. Won't do it. I like her too much. I think that she's phenomenal. Hopefully she's worked on her stand up. Because Juliana Velasquez will have the better stand up than Alimale. But if Alimale takes it to the ground, then she will have she'll be the better fighter. Obviously, she's a ground game fighter. She's a grappler. Fights out of 10th Planet. Very good on the ground. This is bothering me. Why aren't these comments showing up? So weird. I don't know what's going on. Oh. Okay. Why did that show up all of a sudden? Jesus Christ. What is going on here? Terrible by myself. Terrible, guys. Now I have to scroll back up to get you off the screen, Stamina. There we go. I got you guys back. Steve Smells. That's not very nice. Dave, that is not nice at all. Terrible. That's terrible, Dave. Okay, so I'm catching up on what you guys are saying, what you guys were talking about for Maverick, from Miranda Maverick. Stamina said there are decent fighters outside the rankings at flyweight: McCann, Lipsky, Mazzo, Grasso, to name a few. Maverick has plenty to be getting on with. Absolutely. I don't think that she's ready for the top 15 yet. One more fight like that last one. She's pretty damn good. Harrison said, I'm personally invested in this whole, can we get Kayla Harrison in the UFC thing? Also, how easy would it be for her to make 145? Yeah, she just isn't. I don't think she's going to the UFC, man. Like, PFL's got to do something, right? Like, they have to let either get these fighters fighting sooner than their start date, April, which is April or something like that, or let them fight elsewhere. Kayla Harrison wants to stay active. They should let her. Stamina said Kayla has no business in the UFC. There's almost nobody credible for her to fight besides Amanda Nunes, who is her teammate. There aren't many more credible ones in Bellator, but there are more. Yeah, it's the Kayla Harrison thing is weird. It's just incredibly weird what is going on with Kayla Harrison. I know Drake talks about her fighting Cyborg. Okay, that's a fun matchup. Oh, welcome, Drake. This show sucks without the other guy. As I talk about you, nah, I think it's going kind of well, other than the comments not being able to scroll down the comments. Um, but yeah, Drake is a fan of the Kayla Harrison to Bellator and fighting Chris Cyborg thing. I don't know. I guess that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, it's fine, I guess. I mean, it's just weird, like what is going on with. It's weird what's going on with Kayla Harrison. Just get her a fucking fight. Just get her a fight, and then we can talk about her fight coming up, because all we're gonna do is keep going back and forth between where she should go. We don't even know where the fuck she should go. We don't even know what the fuck's going on with PFL. So, man, ridiculous. Stamina said Kayla can definitely make 145. It's not as if she's ultra ripped. No, but she's thick. She's like, she has she has a big body. She's ultra ripped. It's not as if she's ultra ripped at lightweight. She's got plenty of time to make the lifestyle adjustments in this downtime too, in theory. Yeah, in theory, but she's just a big girl. Like, she's big, very big. Big thighs, big legs, big arms. She's just a big girl. Dave said, I would be interested to see Kayla in Bellator for free fights. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best spot for her. Not necessarily fighting Chris Cyborg right away, but maybe fighting former champion Julia Budd. That would be fun. To get her feet wet at 145, or if they were to do a catch weight or something like that at 150, because Julia Budd's big enough to do a catch weight at 150. That would be fun. Just not ready for Cyborg, like what Drake thinks. So Drake said, have fun with the rest of the show, gang. Just wanted to pop in. Yeah, you wanted to see how I was doing without you. I'm doing just fine. Just fine, my ginger fuck. Harrison said, I personally want to see Cyborg in the UFC too. Laugh my ass off. I want all the matchups. Yeah, I mean, when you think about like what can happen with Kayla Harrison, you can see her fighting Amanda Nunes at some point. Not right now, obviously, because I mean Amanda Nunes is the best female fighter ever. She's on many lists, top 5 in any gender, male, female, doesn't matter. Amanda Nunes is one of the best fighters ever. She's not ready for Amanda Nunes, obviously. She's very good. She's not ready for Amanda Nunes. And to be honest, I'm not even sure she's ready for Chris Cyborg. But if she were to get her feet wet against Julie Budd, a former champion, and then maybe her next fight be against the champion Chris Cyborg, that would be fun. I think that would be fun. Dave said the entire situation is killing the public opinion of the PFL. These athletes have a limited career window as it is. Such a bad PR look. It's terrible. It's like mind-blowingly bad. Very, very bad for PFL. Very, very bad for PFL. They are killing themselves. I'm shocked that their investors are not bouncing right now. They're not on the phone saying, look, either you put on shows or we pull our fucking money and we're out. Craziness, man. But again, that's probably why the PFL made an announcement that they're going to put on shows in 2021. And starting in like April, I think, or something like that. Yeah, just terrible look for PFL. Bad, very bad. Dave said, Bud, yep, that would be a fun fight. Yeah, it would be fun. I like it. Head kick audio. Steve said, seen her in person. She is thick as fuck. She is thick with like 5 C's. Thick. Harrison said, wait, we should let Cyborg move up to 155. Could you imagine Chris Cyborg at 155? She's already a very muscular woman. Could you imagine her at 155? Stamina said, and fight who though? Yeah, I guess he's talking about Kayla Harrison. But I don't think that she's ready for. I don't think Kayla Harrison's ready for Chris Cyborg. Not yet. Stamina said, or Harrison said, there are women that size around the world that could do it. They just don't know that's what they're meant for yet. There's women, but they're gonna get beat by Kayla Harrison. So I mean, might as well put her up against Julia Budd, a former champion. See how she does. Just see how she does against Julia Budd. Dave said that's a good point, Steve, and they may actually be looking into other options. I wouldn't be surprised to see the PFL get swallowed up into another promotion. Terrible, man. You think about it. They went from World Series of Fighting to PFL. They have this whole tournament thing. Fans like tournaments. Pride did the tournaments. They did it the right way. Tournaments are fun. Bellator has done tournaments over the past couple of years. They were fun, right? Maybe they took a little long to finish up because they didn't do one night tournaments, whereas Pride did back in the day, which were amazing. I think tournaments are fun. That's their niche. That's PFL's niche. They just need to put events on. Like they have the fans that are down for what they do. We are down for PFL. Like give me all of the PFL. Give it all to me. Please give it all to me. I will watch it. We will all watch it. We just need the product to be there for us. It's like it's crazy. It's fucking crazy that they're not putting out a product right now. When you see Bellator, they're in Connecticut. They're literally doing shows in Connecticut, from Connecticut. That's like their home base right now, is in Connecticut. The UFC obviously went to Abu Dhabi, Fight Island, and then they're in Vegas. LFA is going on. There are Invicta's going on. There are promotions going right now. Why? Why can't the PFL just put on a couple shows at the end of the year in December? Just put on a couple shows in December, the first couple weeks of December. Why? Why can't they make the fighters happy? Make money, make your investors happy, make your fans happy. Get your name out there. Be relevant. Relevancy is a big thing in sports. PFL is going to be forgotten. PFL is going to be forgotten. It's just fucking crazy to me. Stamina said, yes, and that's why the keyword was credible. There are people she could fight. Talking about Kayla Harrison, but who the fuck would care? Yeah, because she's just she's gonna dominate whoever she fights, other than an Amanda Nunes, a Chris Cyborg, a Julia Budd. Hardly anyone cared with the existing PFL roster as is. Yeah, they didn't do good numbers. PFL didn't do good numbers. They're on ESPN too. They're not. they didn't do that great of numbers. They did like a New Year's Eve show. Didn't do great numbers. They were giving away tickets. But I really like their product. I definitely would continue watching. Yeah, Dave said cross promotion tournaments. That is what every fan wants. Kind of like what we're seeing with Bellator and Ryzen working together. Yeah, PFL should definitely look into working with another promotion, another bigger promotion. I don't know if it's obviously not going to be the UFC. They don't work with anybody. They have the monopoly. Why would they work with anybody? Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. PFL's tough. In 10 years, everyone will have given up on the idea of Kayla. She'll have been mated or broken in that time. Yeah, yeah, because we're hardly seeing her fight in her prime right now. It's crazy. It sucks, but that's just the way that shit's going right now. And with PFL, if the PFL came out and said we don't think we can run to the same safety protocols as our peers, it'd be kind of weird, but it'd arguably be better than abject prolonged silence. That's exactly it. Like, we do not know what is going on with PFL. We do not know. We have no clue. We have no fucking clue what is going on. So radio silence is not good. This is terrible. This is a WMMA podcast, and I'm talking about PFL on a weekly basis. How much I cannot stand what they're doing. Crazy, man. Craziness. PFL is ridiculous. It's mind-boggling what they're not doing to stay relevant. Okay, so moving on with news. Bellator again. Janae Harding will take on Jessie Meal at Bellator 251. Janae Harding is a friend of the show. She actually came on back when we first started the show. She's fun. She's entertaining. She's a cool chick. 100% behind Janae Harding in this fight. I dig her. Love it. Love it. This is a good fight for her. I think she probably wins this fight. Mill's all right, I guess. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I like Janae Harding a lot, though. She's a good stand-up fighter. Yeah, yeah. Janae Harding. Whew. She is. She's a beauty. Definitely a beauty. She's gorgeous. Not only that, but she's cool. You know, she's down to earth. She very cool girl. So very chill. Fierce though. Fierce. Love it. Love that she's back. She's been yearning to get back. Like she stays active by boxing. She might not win every fight, but she stays active by boxing, taking professional fights. Gotta love that for a competitor. They just want to fight, man. She just wants to bang, bro. Okay, so moving on to previews. One Inside the Matrix preview. There is a straw weight title fight with Zhang Jingnan and Tiffany Teo 2. This is kind of a weird fight. I'm gonna have to go on the way back. I'm pretty sure that Jingnan won their first fight, but it's been so long. so long since I feel like we haven't seen the panda in forever too. So their first fight was in 2018, where Jingnan beat Teo with punches in round 4. Since then, she's gone on to win 3 fights, and then she lost her last one last October. A year ago. Exactly, to the month. A year ago. We haven't seen her fight. That's how long it's been. I knew that we hadn't seen her fight for a long time, but Amanda's back. She should win this fight again. She's a knockout artist. She should definitely win this fight. Teo's gonna be tough. She's a tough girl, but Jingnan should win this fight. I think that it probably goes to the 3rd round, maybe punches. But yeah, Stamina said fight of the year incoming. Right, like it could be a really good throwdown. But man, Jingnan is amazing. Teo's good, obviously. Tiffany Teo is very good, but I don't think that she's on Jingnan's level. Her only losses are to Colleen Snyder, but that was a long time ago. That was in 2015, and then her last fight against Angela Lee, where she got subbed by RNC. So yeah, I think that this fight doesn't go the full 5. I believe this is a 5-round fight. Jingnan should get the win here. Typical fashion where she finishes the fight. It's gonna be a fun one though, for sure. That whole card is really good. Let's look at that whole card really quick. I think there are 4 title fights. Yes. Ong Long Sung, Christian Lee, Martin Nguyen, Jingnan, Foyang is on there, former champion. Man, such a good card. This is really, really good card. 4 title fights. Friday at 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, so that's 3:30 Pacific time. For me, 3:30 in the morning, I will not be awake for that. Not be awake, but I'll for sure catch this card because they're good fights and they're 4 title fights. Oh, okay. I got you. Stamina. All right, moving on to the Bellator 250 preview, where Vita Ortega takes on Desiree Yanez in a flyweight fight. This Desiree Yanez will make her Bellator debut. Prior to this, she was fighting Combate Americas, where she took on Melissa Martinez for the title. She ended up losing that fight. I personally saw Yanez winning that fight. I think she should be champion right now, Combate Americas champion. But hey, maybe that was a blessing in disguise. Yeah, sure. Of course, it's tough to lose a title fight, but now she gets her shot in Bellator. Do I think that Bellator is a bigger promotion than Combate Americas? It is if you're on the main card, which they are. Ortega and Yanez are on the main card, which is awesome. I think that they that Bellator probably wants to give these girls some shine. They're behind Musasi and Lima, which is an absolute banger. Such a good fight. Musasi and Douglas Lima for the vacant middleweight title. Great fight. Who you guys have winning that fight? Musasi and Douglas Lima. Tell me who you guys have winning that fight. Henry Corrales will be taking on Brandon Gertz. Jake Hager, formerly Jack Swagger of WWE, is on this card. Nick Newell is on this card. Saba Homasi is on this card. Adam Borix is all the way down on this card. And Bellator has up and coming fighters that are fun, that are interesting. Ortega and Yanez are part of that. Definitely, they're part of that. As I said, Yanez will be making her Bellator debut, while Ortega is coming off 2 straight losses, one to Lima Lane McFarland, who doesn't lose to her, and then she lost to Alejandra Lara by decision last December. But she has a win against Denise Kilholtz, Emily Ducate, Brooke Mayo. Like, she has really good wins. She really does. She's fun. She's an exciting fighter. This is going to be a really good fight. I'm pretty pumped for this fight, and I'm really happy that it's on the main card. Not that means much with Bellator, because where the fuck do we watch it? I don't even know. Shit, I don't even know where this where we can watch this part at. Will it be on CBS Sports Channel or whatever it is? Or CBS Sports Network, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So 5 p.m. Pacific Time, my time. I'm assuming those are the prelims, and I don't know what time the main card starts. But I think this is going to be good, man. I think this is going to be a good fight, though. Definitely look for Desiree Yanez to win this fight. Ortega's tough. She's a beast. But Yanez has that it factor. I hope that she turns out for her Bellator debut. She did so well. In Combate Americas. She finally had a good platform. She's only 30 years old or so. Yeah, she's 30 years old. She lost split decision to Melissa Martinez, who is another phenomenal athlete, phenomenal fighter. I think that Yanez wins this fight somehow. Probably a decision. I think it's a decision, but it'll be a good fight. This has one of the makings to be fight of the night, I think. Okay, so moving on to UFC Vegas 12, where we have Courtney Casey and Priscilla Quechua. Stamina said, this fight, I'm super keen for that must-watch combat spectacular. Yeah, it's going to be a good fight for sure. I think it's going to be fun. It'll be a good fight. It's going to be a fun one. They're going to bang. Probably Cachoeira, I think probably wins this fight. Courtney Casey's tough though. She's in the fights every time out. I like her, but I think that Priscilla probably wins this fight. It's a good one though. It'll be a good one. I like it. Okay, so I did want to get to, wasn't on the banners to talk about, the news to talk about, but there is a WBO World Female Super Featherweight title fight. This is boxing, by the way. Michaela Meyer will be taking on Brodnicka, Iwa Brodnicka. This is on the Inoue Maloney co-main event, actually. If you guys haven't seen Michaela Meyer, she's a beast. She's fun. She's fun, man. Good boxer. Very fun. I like her. I think that she's the real deal. I think that she will become the champion. She'll be the new WBO World Female Super Featherweight title champion. Wow, that's a mouthful. These boxing belts, man. WBO World Female Super Featherweight title. The main event, Inouye and Maloney. WBA World and IBF World Bantamweight title fights. Boxing's got to get their shit together when it comes to boxing's got to get their shit together when it comes to the sanctioning bodies. Too many champions. I love boxing a lot, but man, can't even keep up anymore. Can't keep up with these champions. And these sanctioning bodies, WBO, WBA, IBF, whatever else they got out there, WBC. So I think you guys should watch that fight for Michaela Meyer. Brodnicka is really good too. She's undefeated, I believe. Yes, she is undefeated. Polish fighter, undefeated. She is 19-0. That's a great record. But who has she fought? Michaela Meyer has fought really good fighters. And she's a monster. Michaela Meyer's a monster. Pumped for her. So we're at only 48 minutes and I'm done. See what happens when Drake isn't part of the show? Get on with it. Just kidding. I really do miss Drake. I miss Drake. But he's got something amazing coming up. I can't talk about it, obviously, but he has something amazing coming up. Proud of my boy. I'm proud of my boy. That's all I can say. And I'm envious of what Drake is doing this weekend. His birthday is on Halloween, which is Saturday. So if you guys follow him on social media, wish him a happy birthday on Halloween. Yeah, Stamina said undefeated means an altogether different thing in boxing. Yeah, oh, man, we don't even know who. She's 19-0, but we don't even know who fucking 16 of her opponents are. It's crazy what boxing is. Well, I love the sport. I used to box. Obviously, I love the sport. I've said it before. I maybe not here, but I'm a boxing fan more than an MMA fan. I love boxing. But yeah, I agree. Undefeated in boxing ain't the same as undefeated in MMA. Sure isn't the same as Habib 29-0, right? What did you guys think about Habib 29-0? What amazing, right? That dude, man, I love him. I want the best for him, obviously. He's so dominant, so fun to watch. I like him a lot. I wish him the best for sure. I know that he made a promise to his mother to wrap it up. I'd like to see him go one more. That fight against GSP, I know his dad talked about it. His dad talked about Habib eventually fighting GSP. I would love to see that fight. GSP's, I guess, past his prime now. I don't know. Last time we saw him, he did well. He did well against Bisbing. But it's been a couple years, so it's like it's weird, man. It's weird. Weird to think that we're gonna be without Habib Nurmagomedov because in the lightweight division, that whole lightweight division. I don't know if you guys can see it. I wrote out the UFC Lightweight Tournament. Dustin Poirier versus Paul Felder. Tony Ferguson versus Charles Oliveira. Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. Welcome to the UFC. You got to fight Justin Gaethje. Conor McGregor versus Dan Hooker. Really? Any of those 8, I would be okay. I would be okay with any of those mixtures of 8. Gaethje and Chandler is a banger. Tony Ferguson and Oliveira is fun. What a fun fight that would be. Felder and Poirier, come on. McGregor and Hooker, man. But any mixture of those 8, or maybe they'll throw in Al Iaquinta or who else? Ferreira, I guess. That whole division, even without Habib, is so good. They're all fun. They're all fun fighters to watch. They've amazing career, amazingly dominant. Yeah, I hate to see him go, but if it's what he wants in his heart, he's healthy. He ain't gonna have that. He ain't gonna have CTE when he gets older. Unless if he gets it from fighting bears. He didn't get it from fighting in the UFC because nobody touched him really. Did you guys see his foot? He has an owie on his foot, poor guy. Tired of hearing Jones make his own case for GOAT. Yeah, man. John Jones. Tired of him? He's great. He's amazing. He's an amazing fighter. But just fight. Fight Izzy. That fight is done marinating. They've done enough. They've done enough for the fans to be into it. They built it themselves. They don't like each other, which is great. I love that. We all love that. We all love when fighters go in at each other, make their own fights. They don't like each other. Awesome. Now fight. Book it, put them in the cage, and fight. Let's see who the best is. Who's the best? Who's the best? Is it John Jones or is it Israel Adesanya? Is John Jones the GOAT? Maybe. Maybe he is. He is. He is He's had an amazing career. But people are really getting hung up on with John Jones. People are really getting hung up on his wins against Dominic Reyes, and then his last one against or the one prior to that, Santos. People were really getting hung up on that he didn't finish the fights. Can't finish them all. I mean, he didn't even finish Anthony Smith. He beat the shit out of Anthony Smith, though. He put it on him for 5 rounds. He beat the ever living shit out of Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith was hurting for days after that fight because of what John Jones did to him. Was it Did he knock him out? Did he finish him? No. But that doesn't mean that John Jones isn't the best, isn't one of the best, isn't the best, the GOAT, or whatever. It's frustrating. All this GOAT talk is frustrating. We've seen it so much since Habib beat Gaethje. We've seen it so much this past week. Kind of annoying. Like, we don't even see John Jones talking shit to Israel Adesanya anymore. Let's go back to that, because John Jones shouldn't have to be making his own case. Like, he's looking for that attention. Do something better. Sign a contract and fight. Prepare yourself for a fight against fucking somebody. I guess not Stipe Miocic anymore. He's fighting Francis Ngannou apparently in February, March, or something like that, which is a good fight too. Love that fight. It's gonna be a good one. Glover beat the ever living shit out of Anthony Smith. Yeah, he did. He put it on Anthony Smith, didn't he? Poor guy. Yeah, that was hard to watch. I agree, Stamina. That was a hard one. They should have stopped that fight. The corner should have stopped it. Yep. The GOAT discussion just needs to go. Yeah, because we can just keep talking on and on and on about it. Keep talking on and on. Thanks for hanging out, Steve. Okay, going back up. GSP was gone a while already when he came back for Bisping. Any fight of his now would be an automatic asterisk on account of how long it's been. Not keen on it. GSP doesn't need to fight. Yeah, I agree. That Michael Bisping fight was it for him. I like it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't not watch that fight if Habib was like, all right, I'm gonna come back for one more fight against George St. Pierre. Not gonna lie, I'll be hyped for it. I don't even know who I would root for. I love George St. Pierre, one of my favorite fighters ever. I love Habib. I don't even know who I would root for. I might not even have I might not even be rooting for either of them. I just wouldn't want to see either of them get hurt, like in a return bout. GSP coming back after maybe 3 years off. I don't want to see him get hurt. Really don't want to see GSP get hurt. Habib, I don't want to see Habib get hurt. Like, it's crazy. His foot was a balloon. Yeah, I agree, Stamina. Jones could have taken Ngannou and made everyone happy, but no, he just wanted to eat. It's upsetting. Like, fight. Just fight. Fight somebody. Hopefully it's Israel Adesanya. I like that fight a lot. I'm into it. It's marinated enough now. It will do huge numbers. Israel Adesanya and John Jones. Huge numbers. Israel Adesanya people will tune in to watch him fight. John Jones, they like him. I think he's not at that level, just because people are turned off by him, because of his PDs, all his extracurricular activities outside of the cage, maybe even hiding under the cage. Like, there's so many things against John Jones, not as a fighter, to make you think like, fuck, do I like this guy? A lot of people don't like him because of what he's done outside of the cage, and they can't put the cage fighter and the human being aside. Like, they can't. You kind of have to do that with fighters, because fighters aren't they're fighters. They're not exactly the most put together people in the world. You know, they fight for a living. They fight for a living. I'm not gonna boycott any fight, I don't think, but my excitement for it would be zilch. I would have no meaning or consequence in my mind either. Fuck it. Yeah, I mean, I like it. Like, I'm hyped for it just because at this point they've talked enough. They've talked enough. They really have just talked enough. John Jones, Israel Adesanya, they talked enough. They're two of the best out there. They're really good. They're great. John Jones is obviously one of the best MMA fighters ever. No matter what other people say about him, he's one of the best fighters in the world ever. You're doing a Mount Rushmore. I wouldn't be mad at somebody putting John Jones up there. I would not be mad at that at all. Steve, that is exactly the problem. Which was what? What was the problem, Dave? But yeah, John Jones, he's just fight, man, fight. Let's go, fight. What do you think about Anderson Silva? Isn't it sad that he's coming to the twilight of it? He's in the twilight of his career. This is it. This is it. Halloween is his last fight. Sad how it's how his career has gone up to this point. Like before the Chris Weidman fights, if he would have retired before the Chris Weidman fights, then he might actually be like the GOAT. He was so good. He was so good in his prime. So amazing to watch. Such an amazing fighter. Crazy how good he was. But then, you know, he lost to Chris Weidman a couple times. He lost to, who else? Derek Brunson. Now he's fighting Uriah Hall. Man, it's crazy how he's kind of gone downhill. How he's gone down. But that's what happens with fighters. They just don't know when to call it. They don't know when to call it a day. Going back to Habib, if this is it for him, like for good, then I'm happy for him because he's getting out healthy in his brain and in his body. Hopefully, we don't know what's going to happen later on with his body. He might have all those aches and pains. We don't know. We don't know what he's going to do or what's going to happen with him. John just went live on Instagram. Yeah, well, pretty sure that he's ranting and raving about the GOAT talk. Crazy. His extra activities, yeah, weird, huh? Like he hit a pregnant woman, took off, and then went back to his car. Like, he did some crazy ass shit. He really did. When you think about it, he hid from USADA underneath the cage. Like, he did some crazy shit. Wild what he did. Wild. I love him though. I love that guy. Okay. It might be Silva's last fight. I feel he wants to go out on a win. To know if Hall is the guy to make that happen for him, though. I love the Adesanya fight, but he could have been done there and then. Yeah, I agree. I would hate to see Anderson Silva go out injured and, you know, getting wrecked in some way. I would hate to see that for him. That can't be his goodbye, right? He cannot win. He cannot leave MMA with an injury, like a bad knockout or whatever. He can't leave with that, right? We don't want him. We don't want to see Anderson Silva leave MMA like that. He's one of the best ever. Amazing fighter. Up until those Chris Weidman fights, he was an amazing fighter. I mean, he's still good. Obviously, he's still Anderson Silva, but he's a shell of the spider. He's definitely a shell of what we're used to seeing from many years ago. Sad, man. It sucks. It sucks. Sucks to see fighters. Sucks to see fighters go, and not in a good way. Hopefully, Anderson Silva goes out in a good way. I don't know. Man. Hopefully. Okay, so I think that will do it for this week. Follow us, like, and share the Scrap News on YouTube. Me, Steve K _ MMA on Twitter, Steve K MMA on Instagram. I might fuck around and have myself an Anderson Silva watch marathon on Fight Pass. Yeah, amazing, man, amazing. God, he had some great fights and some great knockouts, great finishes. Such a fun fighter, fluid, just fucking so fluid with his strikes. Like, oh, he was amazing, the greatest, one of the greatest, definitely one of the greatest in the sport. When it goes for an athlete, it is really gone. It is always hard to watch. It sucks. I hope that we do not see Anderson Silva get knocked out. I really hope we do not see Anderson Silva get knocked out. Really hope we don't. All right. Thank you, Stamina. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you, Head Kick Audio, Steve. Thank you, Harrison, for stopping by. Drake stopped by to see how I was doing, to see if I didn't ruin the show, to see if it wasn't up in flames. Nah, Drake, I got it, bro. Maybe I didn't talk all the women's fights, but I'm talking everything else, too. All right. Until next week, same channel, same time. Love y'all. Thank you for stopping by, hanging out with me for an hour, talking fights. Enjoy Anderson Silva for the last time, if it is the last time. Enjoy him. We didn't think we were going to see Khabib's last fight. We did. Talk to y'all later. Next week. Peace.